Hey, Kyle, really good to see you. Today we are talking about proactive planning for 2023 and 6 key resolutions. 2022 was just a brutal year for investors, and 2023 is, of course, going to be challenging, but there are some action steps we can take now to set ourselves up for success. So we're going to walk through a few of those resolutions. Number one on your list, treat your household finances like a business. What does that mean?
Absolutely. Thank you, Erin. I think that it's a new year, fresh start. And if you want to kick the year off right and you're looking at your personal finances, it's a good idea to treat them like a business. Take some time, break things down, and get into detail on what's coming in the door in terms of income sources and then what's going out. Look at your expenses because more than likely things have changed and they've probably gotten more expensive. And so, tying everything back to essentially treating your household like an actual business can help to direct you and I think put you on the right track moving forward.
Okay, that makes sense. You mentioned change. Talk about all the changes that we've seen in 2022, which leads us right into resolution number two, rebalance. Why is that so important right now?
Right. Well, markets suffered a really big year to the downside, unfortunately. So stocks, the S&P 500 is down a little over 20%, and the bonds in general, like the aggregate bond index, is down about 13 at the end of last year. So your portfolio, your 60/40 portfolio may not be a 60/40 portfolio and likely is not at the moment. So it's very important. We got a fresh year, a new market year. Take some time and put yourself in a new balance state, one where you desire to be, one that's appropriate for you, because it's probably a little out of whack right now.
Right. And when you're out of whack, you may be taking on more risk or less risk than you want, which is why it's so
Precisely.
important. Number three here, pay down your debt and lower your expenses. I feel like this is always number one on everybody's financial resolutions, right?
Right. And this is an interesting topic because there are definitely some individuals on the radio who go overboard on this concept, right? So we're big proponents of tackle your debt, understand it, and manage it in moderation.
Hmm.
Do not go crazy and blow up your personal savings just to tackle debt. There is definitely a fine line of leveraging your credit lines to sustain your lifestyle if you're not retired. And then that definitely shifts a little bit when you do retire. If you retire and you're gung ho about, I want to pay off my house, I want to pay off my car and my credit cards, what is the cost to do that? I mean, if
Right.
you're sacrificing $100,000 of your savings to tackle those debts, that may not serve you very well in certain circumstances. So again, going back to treating your household finances like a business, look at your specific situation, understand your income sources, right? Do you have Social Security if you're retired? Most likely you do. But do you have a pension, right? If you don't, where is that income going to come from? And then understand your expenses. What are my obligations? What are the debts that I owe? And is it going to be worth my while to sacrifice my buffer or my personal savings between the two, to tackle those debts? So
Right.
really take a granular view at that particular issue.
Hmm. Well said. Number four here, keep saving for retirement. Why is that one of your resolutions, Kyle?
Definitely. It's easy to feel disheartened if you have investments and you went through a year like 2022. If you went through the whole year invested and you're actively saving, preparing for retirement, you may think, oh my gosh, it might be better if I just throw my money under the mattress and just not
Hmm.
even worry about all this. But long term, that is a terrible solution. And you're going to lose to a big issue, which is inflation. So it's important to stay disciplined long term. And if you're one of those people that are actively saving for retirement, asset prices in markets have come down. So you're getting in at a lower price as you're contributing to your retirement accounts.
Hmm. And just a quick look at some of those new limits for the contribution limits for 2023, which all increased with inflation. So more opportunities here to be saving, right, Kyle?
Absolutely.
Okay. So as we talk about our next resolution, we are going to talk about updating your estate plan and your beneficiaries. This is important, and it's one of those things that I feel like is easy but often overlooked.
It really is. Sometimes it's a topic that people don't really want to think about a whole lot, but it's one of those things that you don't have to worry and stress about every single day if you check on it periodically.
Mhm.
It's a good annual review thing with your advisor just to check in and make sure that everything is lined up. or whoever you're working with, your estate planning attorney, whoever that may be, and just understand that, one of the reasons to look at this is because tax code changes, right? So the way that our savings are passed down to our generations below us, that changes quite a bit. So take a minute, and that graphic that you have there, that's a great point. Look at the taxable nature of each of your assets and take a minute to understand, hey, each of these is going to be treated a little bit differently when people inherit these things from me.
Right.
And you want to really position yourself so that your direct beneficiaries are in a good position, right? Not in a bad position when you do pass away.
Right. So important. An estate plan is so much more than your house. It's helpful to look at that. And last on our resolutions, proactive tax planning. What does that mean exactly?
This is kind of piggybacking off the last point. Things change, right? We just looked and saw that the contribution limits have changed. All right, heading into this year, the Secure Act of 2019 that definitely changed some things. RMDs, required minimum distributions for individuals, they're shifting a little bit the way that all works. And you want to just take a minute, again, going back to treating your household finances like a business, tie everything in together, have a concentrated goal, and start to work at the individual pieces to make that whole goal work seamlessly.
Hmm.
And so that may mean bringing in a team of individuals to help you out with those things, because
Hmm.
some people's business is more complex than others, frankly put. So that may mean talking to an accountant or a CPA, right, about how your taxes are going to go every year.
Right. No, well said. And beyond that, I also feel like it's helpful to work with professionals, not only because some of these strategies are really complicated, but it's an extra layer of accountability, right? So, Kyle, if somebody would like you to talk them through these resolutions and figure out what's best for them, what's the best way to reach you?
Best way to reach us is through the website, firstcoastfinancialgroup.com.
All right. Kyle, thank you very much. Happy New Year.
Thank you, Erin. Happy New Year.